I've been sitting on these videos since September. Let's get them cranked out here. Welcome back to Mega Man. Today we're just going to be taking on two bosses. One kind of uninspired stage and the other stage is kind of a stage from hell. So yay, diversity. The idea behind Slash Beast stage is a cool idea, I guess, but they just pull it off in the most bland way possible. We're not going to have the most fun mini-boss on this stage either. Well, we'll see him when he comes up. The problem I have with Slash Beast Stage 2 is that there's no real unique enemy to this stage. A lot of it's recycled enemies from previous stages. We've seen these guys with the helmets on before. We've seen... Oh, we will see the gun turrets coming up in another stage. Those generic guys are everywhere. The bats we saw back in Flame Dragoon. Magma Dragoon, wow. Well, this guy was at least smart enough to stay on the train. Blue crates, I believe, can only be opened by the Raiden armor that we'll be getting later. They don't do anything special. The turrets will also fire a beam and then fire off 2 missiles, and then rinse and repeat the same pattern. This is the problem with the stage, though, that I have with it. Once you've cleared at least 3 or 4 cars, you've seen everything it's going to throw at you. Even the next stage, we're only going to be getting the Raiden armor. Nothing much really changes then. Oh man, 2 lasers on one train? Holy cow. Calm down, Mega Man, you're throwing way too much at me. And I guess this green train car was just so you can catch your breath. Here comes probably the worst designed mini-boss I've ever seen. The only way he hurts you is that middle spike thing, which is already destroyed, and then there's a laser cannon on the top. Once you take out the laser cannon, you don't have to worry about anything from that point on. See, look, both spikes shot out and missed Mega Man completely. Challenge. I guess Zero has a harder time with this since he has to get up close and use his saber to attack the mini-boss here. But for X, this is just a pushover. Done. Hopefully the next area will give us at least some bit of fun. Oh look, more boxes on a train car. Oof. This really is probably the worst level in Mega Man X4. The other levels are better than this, I swear. Oh man, robots in power armor. We haven't seen that since Magma Dragoon stage. So now the game finally decides that, hey, maybe we should make this stage somewhat fun. So they give you the armor and you can just unabashedly destroy everything in your path. Even the train cars. In this train car we'll find a heart container to increase our life again. This is only accessible by using the Raiden armor, so if you somehow got it destroyed before reaching the second train car, I think you unlock an achievement from that. Otherwise it'll be inaccessible to you. Alas, but all good things must end. So we have to ditch our ride. That was a fun minute and a half we had using it. Here comes kind of a dick move. 3 guys will come off in the left screen if you're not expecting them. They're not going to kill you unless you're in the red, but just something you wouldn't know about the first time playing through. Oh boy, we left the train to get back on the train. Yay. That's right, I think we only got 2 train cars here until we reach the boss. The Slash Beast attacks with this Twin Slasher. I believe you can also dash under it, or you can wall jump off like I did there. You also jump in the air and try and land on you that way. So you can see the X-Buster is hardly doing any damage, so I finally decided to switch over to his weakness, the Ground Hunter. Whenever you hit him with the Ground Hunter, he'll enter that loop where he'll attack the wall like that. If you're on the wall while he hits it, it's kind of like Frost Walrus where he'll knock you off. And I'm also showcasing the Ground Hunter. If you fire it in midair and then press down, it will drop to the ground immediately, instead of going on its arcing course. But hey, that means we never have to see this stage again. We can go on to something fun.
You got Twin Slasher.
Can I complain about having the description of the item, or the weapon name, say Twin Slasher? What does Twin Slasher do? Fires Twin Slashers. Oh, thanks. It's basically the spread gun from Mega Man. Split Mushroom stage is a little irritating too, but the mini-boss and boss more than make up for it. I enjoy them immensely.
Ready.
So meet the first enemy of this game, a staircase, and it will work against us. Because the majority of enemies like to hug the right side, like right there. Usually your first attack won't kill them outright. Because of the uneven terrain that makes it a little irritating. We'll see another staircase in the next area. It's even worse than this one. So now the stage throws another loop at us where it's bottomless pits, and sometimes you'll have these kamikaze creatures come at you. If you try and jump and then they hit you, you'll lose all your momentum, fall to your death. This part's not so bad, and it'll prepare you for what's coming up in Area 2. The flowers will continue to respawn, no matter what you do to kill them. So your best bet is just to kill them and move on before they respawn. You also have to worry about the spikes on the side, they will insta-kill you. Typical Mega Man fashion. How the hell did they get any work done in this biolab anyways? It's all vertical. Take this upstairs to research. And I got the drilling machines. We'll see these come in Area 2. Pretty simple to avoid. But now we're done with this and we're going to go on to our mini-boss. Which, I guess, if you don't know what you're doing, can be a real pain in the ass. So this boss will try and get underneath you, extend its spikes, and then jump upward. And you only have a limited number of attempts to try and kill this guy, and otherwise you'll run out of platforms, and the spikes will one-shot you. I believe his weakness is Lightning Web, but like I explained in Colonel Fight, it's very hard for me to get an accurate hit on him using it, so I try and avoid it. I'll just use the X-Buster. Also, while you're fighting him, try to avoid standing on the top ledges until absolutely necessary. Otherwise, he'll just break through your bottom ones and get rid of your top one too, reducing the number of platforms you can use throughout the fight. Here's the staircase where they just decide to throw everything at you. We'll see at least 5 or 6 of these guys on screen at once. If there's an easier way to do this than just bum rushing it, I have no idea. Look at that. How many guys were on that screen at once? Nope, there's a heart container up there. If you can't do it that way, then make sure you have Web Spider's ability and you can catch it like that. I'd recommend being patient in this area too. If you accidentally hug the side of the wall, you'll screw up your jump, and then the drill will probably hit you and knock you down. I don't abuse it much later, or I don't abuse it until much later in this area here, but Flame Tower will be your best bet. It will one-shot the plants, and so you don't have to jump up and put yourself at risk. Obviously, you don't want to stand underneath them too. The spikes will one-shot you. There's no way to destroy this guy too, you just have to dash under. And that's the only time you'll see it too, unfortunately. Whew, challenge done. Hey, now that we filled up everything, it's boss time. I like how they use the wrong form of foods there. Split Mushroom will jump up on the walls, make duplicates of himself who will try and attack you, tracking you where you were. And then he'll make a duplicate of himself that will run around the stage with them. I kind of like this because you have to figure out which one is him, and also watch your jumps, making sure you're not jumping too high to ram into the one clone, but also jumping enough to avoid the other. Just because I didn't feel like redoing the entire stage, let's go ahead and refill our health. Can someone explain to me why a spider web is good against mushrooms? Or even electricity in general? But luckily, once you start abusing the boss's weakness, he goes down pretty easy. Man, how close to the moon is this laboratory? How tall is it to be so the moon is that big in the background?
You got Soul Body.
Every time I hear "You Got Soul Body," I expect to hear a smooth jazz saxophone play in the background. So next video, we'll take on our final 2 bosses and we'll revisit the Colonel. And from there on in, we have 2 more bosses until the final boss. So we'll see you next time.